The soap dispenser in the green room bathroom was filled with cockroaches.
Love that.
And the stage is like,
It's hard to wash your hands with
6 feet by 6 feet. So anyways, like,
shit.
Of course, that's the night where it hits me. It's talking to me a little bit,
What'd you have the day before, you think? Do you have any
Who
idea?
knows? Like
a Mapco hot dog?
Those little tornadoes on the rollers.
Don't come anywhere near my belly button, bro.
You didn't hear from me. You didn't hear from me.
Alright, what's poppin', party people? Welcome back to another episode of You Didn't Hear It From Me. You got your boy Stryker and Moose here.
What's up, dog?
And today we got my boy Corey Clark, aka Cowboy Mugshot, with us.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, dog?
What y'all been getting into? That's how we're gonna start it. I mean, what have you been?
I'm getting
the most interesting looking fellow we've had on the podcast yet. I said the most interesting looking fellow we've had on the podcast yet.
Sure.
I knew you were gonna wear something crazy, kind of weird.
That's the thing is, like, I confuse babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what gender I am. Like, when a baby looks at me, they're like they're like, this guy's too fluid. Like, I can't tell. So,
excited or not excited or scared? Do they get scared?
They don't know.
Excited? They
just like, what is this?
Confused.
So I'm used to it.
Some babies don't know anything, dude.
They scream. They see Stryker.
The babies are stupid.
They don't scream. I'm not allowed near them. You know good and well.
That's true. I'd hate to see you around some kids, to be honest with you. I bet you're shitty with kids.
I hate kids.
Do you really?
No. I hate very small kids.
I mean, you give that vibe off.
Yeah. I thought I gave up that I love kids.
I don't know about that.
No, I hate, like, I've always said that, like, if I ever get married and we have a kid, like, I'm not touching it till it's about 5. And it can start doing some shit itself.
Yeah, fucking do something. Like,
you
you're just looking at me with you can't even hold your head up. I'm not helping you.
Dude, every kid I've ever held, every baby has always spit up on me. And I'm like, I'm not having it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, every single time.
Oh, dude, I would gag so hard.
I hate it.
It's always something nasty.
Literally, the last time, I have a nephew who's 2 years old now. And the last time, when he was, like, real small, the last time I held a baby, my mom was like, he literally just, like, I just burped him, like, everything, just went to the bathroom, and he's like, he's not going to spit up on you. I was like, okay. 3 seconds in, I feel it dripping down my neck.
Oh.
And I'm like, So I grabbed him by his ankles and I threw him over the barbed wire fence. Never been seen again.
Kid fucking disappeared. That's where he went.
Yeah, I know where he's at. Nobody else does, though. But...
What the fuck are you wearing? And we're gonna start there. That's where we're gonna start. Because this is how we start every fucking podcast. You look like a doily cloth. You look like my grandma's napkin.
You look like an Arizona can.
Yeah, you do.
Hell yeah, dude, I love Arizona, though. You had to put that fucking Theo Von hoodie on so you could cover up your fucking Ed Hardy shirt, dude.
Oh, yeah, I just want everybody to think this said Hitler.
Let's see it.
Lift it up for the tap out crowd. Up there. Yeah. There it is.
What's up, boy?
You look like you stole
And it's real because I paid $93 for it.
That's crazy.
And I'm still mad, and that's why I wear it.
You stole it off one of those kids, those weird kids in high school that would run to lunch.
What's run to lunch?
Run to lunch.
Oh, with their head down?
With their head down? The Naruto run with their arms on their back.
You look like one of those guys who doesn't ride dirt bikes.
But wants to real bad. You know what's fucked up is I really always was that kid growing up. I wanted to ride dirt bikes. I wore Fox and stuff.
You would kill yourself on dirt bike.
Oh, 100%. I ripped the back tire off a moped in a month. What do you think I'm going to do with a dirt bike, dude? I would ride wheelies on the block on my moped when I was 15.
Oh, yeah.
That's lame.
It's so lame, but it was cool at the time.
I don't know if it was cool.
We had squads of mopeds at my high school. It was so funny. It was so funny. Before you had a car?
That's so silly.
It was.
That's so crazy. You'll joust and shit with other gangs?
We raced. 35 mile per hour, that's it.
That's tough, dude.
You just like I got him, and your moped just taps out. It's like, yeah. You're going 35.
Down a hill and you're not even giving any gas.
Oh, I was too. Ass back.
You shaved your arms the night before you did that extra.
I wore a swim cap and no helmet.
Swim cap. God, dude.
Bro, I would wear
y'all racing for pinks, dude. Straight up.
We couldn't afford to do that. We had mopeds racing for pinks. Pink Starburst. We were racing for.
So that meant, dude.
I didn't have shit.
Fast and Furious Indiana Drift, dude.
Dude, it was fun. It really was. While it lasted. I wrecked the shit out of that thing, though.
But you did. That's why you look like that.
What ended up happening to it is the muffler fell off, and it was like really, really loud. Like, oof, really loud. I sold it to a local drug dealer. The drug dealer that I sold it to lived a block away from me.
Right.
I could hear him every time he made a bag run. Every time he took off, he's like, just screaming. My mom's like, there he goes.
Discreet at all.
Imagine your drug dealer pulls up on a moped. That sounds like that.
Pop the seat real quick.
He's got all his bags under there.
Then it melted to the battery.
The dude had no teeth either.
You can't take someone seriously after they put a kickstand down. Like
the one that you got to prop up.
Yeah. You got to pull it backwards.
Exactly. You think I had a regular kickstand on? That cool. That's extra. That's an aftermarket accessory right there.
Yeah.
Essential.
Not a lot of moped shops around Kokomo, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising.
Not at all.
Seems like the demand was pretty high.
It was, actually.
I know. We had gangs.
Squad.
What about you, Corey? You get those clothes from the dumpster behind PacSun? Hot Topic, I mean.
I mugged a homeless dude.
I seen that. A couple of them.
Just put the swag on. Yeah.
There's just not one had all that on.
Yeah. I needed the platform shoes to. Yeah.
I need to wear them around this guy.
Platforms, you need something.
Make me look like an average size adult. Sit there right there.
Fun size. Like a little
strike snack.
A little cereal package toy.
You put me in that little pocket that nobody really knows what it's for on the inside of your other pocket. It's kind of.
That's so messed up. You say that. I saw a stupid video today about Steve Jobs pulling that damn iPod Nano out of that pocket. He's like, nobody knows what there's pockets for.
I hate him for that.
In the caption was, this is the best part. This man was a genius. Really? Because he put an iPod Nano in his small pocket.
If you're like on
everybody
your
knows
own
it's a drug
for
pocket.
yourself, utilizing the small pocket in your jeans, genius.
Everybody knows it's a drug pocket. I think you throw you a couple things down in there just in case you need them. You know what I mean?
Couple pillies.
What kind of things?
Just some little things. I don't know, whatever you feel.
Officer, he's right here. We've got him. I don't think I've ever put anything in that pocket. I think I put like a quarter in there when I was a kid just to see if that's what it was for, and then you can't really get it out. I was like, well, that's not
just
what
to
it's
see
for.
if that's what it's for.
I don't think that.
I'll put a thumb in there if I'm feeling anxious.
Just rest your thumbs.
Whose thumb, though?
My thumb.
Okay.
He said a thumb. That's a good question. He said a thumb.
He's like, I got one in there right now. Pulls out.
Hey, you want to see it? Prank. It's my nut. Did y'all do that in middle school? You'd be like sitting in gym class, you're like, oh, dude, I got some gum on my shoulders. I stretch it out.
Your
homie looks at you.
Sack out.
It's just a sack.
Straight sack.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you gotta
That's a
let the nuts hang. Or the goat. You know about the goat, right?
Oh, yeah. And what you know about the fruit bowl?
You gotta use your hands for that one?
It's where you moon someone, but your nuts are between your ass.
Oh, I thought that was the goat. That's what
Is that the goat?
That's what we called the goat. Was when you tuck your sack underneath your legs pretty much, and then you bend over, and then it's just
Where are you from?
Indiana.
Oh, that might be an Indiana goat.
What's
I'm talking about
what's your goat?
Floridian fruit bowl.
Floridian food.
Same thing, just different region.
That's your next album.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Floridian
Floridian fruit bowl.
That'd be a good name. There was
Yeah,
this
it would
kid.
be.
There was this kid we used to play basketball with. He was a little Hispanic gentleman, and he was uncircumcised. And he would.
Why? Do you know that?
Because I saw his cock.
Imagine
Why you
That's why.
That's how I
That's the
know.
rule. You don't look at it.
Well, it's funny because he would.
Because I saw his cock, Corey.
he would.
Alright.
He would reach around and grab the top of his foreskin. There's already too much for me. If we can't swear on the podcast,
You might have. You may have should have like kept this to yourself.
It's too late.
It's all good.
It's too late.
put
We're already here.
some kind of B-roll in the front of it.
You just mute me this entire first in this. But I used to grab the top of his foreskin and pull it underneath his nuts, and so his dick would be wrapped around between his two balls, and it looked like a bumblebee. And he'd come up behind you and touch it to your leg and go, Buzz.
Nah. Yeah. I'm fighting. I'm throwing hands. If someone puts their foreskin on me and says Buzz, I'm punching you square in the forehead.
I'll tell you say it like that, Buzz.
Buzz. That's how he did it, Buzz.
You're getting hit.
And he was like this tall.
I thought you were going to call it the bow tie.
That's the fastest way to get active.
Man, he was getting active. All right.
You all want to fight Corey, just slap that foreskin on him. That's the way you throw hands.
I'm the first person in the world who got chlamydia on their outer thigh after this kid rubbing his nuts against me.
Put his Cuban egg roll against my leg.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so we like music here.
Yeah, because that's what this podcast is about.
But yeah, so we got Corey on today.
I do music.
He does music.
Y'all should listen to it. It's pretty good. Actually, I was thinking about this earlier before you came over. First person that I'm getting to chill with that had a song, well, I'm going to say, yeah, for sure. Like, maybe other songs have gotten stuck in my head and I've been, like, singing them and shit when I'm out listening to them, like at work or some shit. But it's because I recorded them or worked on them or, like, I listened to them so many times because I had to. But Magazine gets stuck in my head, like, randomly. And I'm like, this is kind of cool that he's coming over and we're chilling. So
yeah, dude, that song was on a list of, like, 12 to 15 demos when I went into the studio, and it was at the bottom. I did not want to record it. I wasn't even going to show it to my producer. And he was like, I know you're hiding something, like, let me get it. And I was like, all right. Send him all the demos. And he picked my least favorite one. It was Magazine. And I was like, wild. I hate this. And he's like, shut up. Do you want to hit? And I was like, all right.
How far from what is on Spotify is what the demo was?
It's pretty identical.
Really?
It's just a quality jump.
Yeah.
For that one. That was like, I would say like 95% there. And then we just re-recorded everything.
Do you still feel the same way about the song?
No. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get tired of it at some point, but it's a good song.
Okay.
What was your hang-up about it originally?
It was too some 182 apparatus card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I love it, dude. It's got that, to me, it like seems a little more modern than that. It's like very like Kid Leroy kind of vibes.
Yeah, that's what we tried to do with it, is keep it like a little bit modern with like the throwback vibes.
Yeah, I like the distortion and stuff they do with your vocals.
So we talked a little bit before the podcast about like what you listened to growing up, but just like a little bit. So from like 8 or 10 to like 16, what'd you listen to? Was there a certain genre that you listened to?
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I was exposed to some like good stuff early on because my dad's a singer and drummer.
Oh,
so
shit.
Like my first memories of music was U2's War album.
Okay.
And then a guy named Thomas Dolby. He does that song Blinded by Science. It's like kind of goofy, but all of his other stuff is like good. Like he had songs that were like pitched to Michael Jackson and stuff.
Damn.
And then I kind of like I grew up in like the butt rock world because my dad managed a band that was like similar to Seether and Creed, and all that came out of my hometown. So I was just like going to those shows, like and sitting in sound booths. And
so where are you from?
Florida, Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So so I guess, shit. So you said your dad is a drummer, and was in a band. What is it? A band we would know or?
No. He did like he toured with like military stuff.
Okay. That's a dope job in the military.
He said it was crazy because he'd be playing for dudes that were getting sent out to like do some stuff. So like they were partying like it was the last day of their life.
Yeah, and they were super excited. There's a band
he was
there.
in like Guam and Japan, and he has crazy stories too that I hear all the time.
Wow, I've heard. Did you know Sydney Brown from MTSU? She ended up moving to Hawaii.
Yeah,
that's what her uncle did.
I knew her since high school.
Do you know what her uncle did in the military?
Yeah,
and like he had left, and that's why she went to Hawaii because his uncle was going to be gone. Her uncle was going to be gone. But anyway, I didn't know for the longest time that was. I was like, what do you mean they play music in the military? Like there's specific people in the military that play music.
Well, he wasn't even in the military.
Oh, really?
It was like a tour booked.
Okay, I got that fucked up.
Where there was like, but they would stay on the bases and stuff. So I don't know if it was like government booked or if it was just like a booking agency booked them a tour for all these people.
But you know for sure they were taken care of too.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's cool. Damn, going to Guam and shit. I don't even know where Guam is.
So we're on it.
It's that way.
That way.
If you go out your door, you got a lot further to go.
Probably just keep walking. You'll find it eventually.
Eventually.
You gotta
Maybe.
swim a little bit.
You have to swim a little bit.
But-
That's that place where one of my buddies in high school, his parents were, he grew up like a military brat, and his parents were stationed in Guam when he was born. But that's that place. Guam's the place where I think there's like 2 military bases already on Guam. And a couple years ago, there was that big thing. It was like the senator of Texas or something. They were doing like a whatever you call it, or some kind of meeting. They were talking about stuff, and they were trying to say that they wanted to build another military base on the east side of Guam or whatever. And the senator for Texas, I think, and he was like, I'm just worried that, we already have 2 military bases on that side. If we put another one on that side, like, I don't know how much weight that side of Guam can have before it flips over. And yeah, literally, this was a real, this was a real thing. And the guy that was like presenting the meeting,
charge or something?
the guy presenting the meeting was like, Senator, you don't think that islands are floating on top of the water, do you? And he goes, well, he's like, well, what else?
What else would it be doing?
How else would it be there?
Yeah, dude. And you can find that on YouTube. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, like, and you're in charge of almost an entire state,
Yeah.
a big one.
That's insane.
So there's
That's
Guam might flip over. That's Guam. If you didn't know what
Alright.
Guam was before,
It's floating.
It's a
it's a
floating
little
floating
floating island that's about to
About to
capsize.
flip over.
That's wild. It's too much weight. It's gonna flip over. That's fucked up.
Imagine.
So what was that story you were about to tell us before?
Are we going straight to piss stories? You can call me out on piss stories?
Yeah.
All right.
So then I'll tell you my poop story.
Okay, so the only people that know about this is like maybe 2 or 3 people and the whole bus that I was on.
And now it's about
So-
to be anybody on TikTok. You
Any,
can see it.
anybody on the internet is probably gonna know. And the person that I was with,
Your
the people that I was
your
with.
future employers.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, whatever, dude.
Whatever,
I was in
dude.
college, dude. And
Anything goes.
Anything goes at college.
I was pretty fucked up. I was really fucked up. We were going to a formal for a. Do the sororities or do the frats do the formals, or is it all of them?
They do it
combined?
together usually.
I didn't know shit about that. I dated a girl that was in the whole Greek life deal, so I was her date. Her friends were pretty wild, and we were getting pretty fucked up beforehand. I was pretty lit once I got on this bus. Well, there's like a 45-minute drive from wherever we were at to
That's a buzzkill.
this ball.
Yeah.
And everybody's got like,
there.
everybody tried to sneak like little cans of something on or whatever, and this one chick had a Red Bull, and she was sitting by us and she was drinking on it, and then I had to pee. We get real close, and I'm like, dude, I have to piss. Like it was bad because we were drinking a
Did you
bunch.
stick
Like
your knob in the Red Bull?
bro.
Slice the top off like a deli slicer, like deli slice turkey.
You put your clown nose inside of a Red Bull?
No. I didn't. Okay, so what happened was I really, I couldn't hold it anymore, and I was gonna jump off. I was gonna open the back door and get off, like, because we were going slow. We were like stuck because we were all getting into the place or whatever. I was like, I gotta go now, and they're like, dude, piss in the can, piss in the can. I start pissing in this can. I'm like, glory to God! Finally, right? I'm empty, and I'm just sitting in this bus seat, just trying to get in there. And you know how big Red Bull cans are. They ain't like this.
What was your method?
It ain't like this.
Can in one hand, can in another hand?
Yeah, exactly. And just aim as best you can, and don't hit that top because it's gonna splatter, right?
You
So
want splashback.
I'm just right. It's already nerve wracking. That's all sharp. I just got it close, and I'm getting it in there, and it starts going in, and I'm like, yes, let's go, and just hold it still. I'm trying to. Hopefully nobody's looking at my dick, and I'm just sitting here. And all of a sudden, I realize the can's got a fucking hole in it, and
Just someone shotgun.
I am in the middle of this stream. It is strong. There's no stopping.
You have 2 options here. You stick your finger in the hole,
You got to.
or you just let it walk.
Oh, would have
fall
never
out.
thought of that.
You get somebody else to clog the hole with their penis.
That's
Okay.
that's extremely thoughtful. That's a home.
Only
no
shit.
Yeah.
Bro, we got our dicks
I
stuck
need your
together
dick
on a
quick.
Red Bull.
Quick, I need you to.
Can I just use my
I need you to
finger?
put
No.
your dick in the.
Because your dick's going to expand. It's like,
Yeah,
So-
the pressure
yeah, it's going to keep it in there.
creates a suction.
Charles Wall or something.
Hey, I would have went for anything at this point, but I didn't know what to do. And there's nothing but chicks around me.
So no dicks to put.
My date is in the same seat. I start realizing in some way, shape, or form, somehow it's leaking, but it's leaking out on the seat. It's leaking out on my shoes. It's leaking out on the floor.
Is it like a rubber, like...
Oh, the bus seat. Yeah. School bus seat. Yeah.
Fake leather, whatever shit.
And the water just goes, right? There ain't no absorption anywhere. It starts going on her dress. It starts going on the floor.
Now it's a party.
All of a sudden, the bus hits the brakes, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And piss all over people's feet.
No.
You know, girls already took their shoes off.
No.
You know they did. Before they got sandals on. Bro, then, after all this, right, girls pissed at me, obviously. Completely mad, but also we're waiting to get into this formal, bitching me out while I'm sitting in the line, and I'm like, I can't. I'm just losing my mind. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what to do. I'm absolutely screwed. I'm not gonna redeem myself here.
No.
Everyone's like, half the party's mad at me because they were all on that bus. I called my roommate. Dusty came and got me, dude. I was like, I'll tell you the story when you get here. Just get my keys and come get me, dude. And he's like, what happened? I was like, just come get me, dude, please. And I'm like sitting outside, and he fucking came.
And if you remember, Dusty is the guy from the last episode.
That's right.
The same Dusty.
He's the homie, dude.
Dusty.
Did me a solid.
If Dusty was there, he would put his dick in the hole.
Yeah, he would have.
You know, Dusty's a good enough friend. He might have done it.
He might have done it.
So yeah, that's my. It sucks that you made me feel that, but it's worth it. It's worth the content, I guess.
I loved it.
It sucks.
I can one up it.
I hope to God, because that's so embarrassing, bro.
I loved it. So let's keep
I've done some things in my life because I've lived on the road for a large period of it. And if you haven't toured before, what you need to know is you're not eating good at all.
There can't be any.
It's like $5 meals and gas station snacks. So it's like when it's time to shit, it's going down, and you got a 5-minute warning at best.
Because you're eating like hell, and you don't have like a great bathroom available.
Right, like club bathroom. Think of your nastiest local bar, and then think, would you take a dump in there? And then also keep in mind, tomorrow, that's your only dump option also. Like, you're driving from...
Next day, it's not going to get better.
It doesn't
so
get
you
better.
can hold out for
you might
something.
as well drop one outside. Like, that might be better.
Get you a bucket.
That's what I'm talking about. I've played at venues where there were buckets.
Oh,
for sure. But anyways, I was playing in Orlando, and I think it was called the Back Booth. It does not exist anymore. It looked like the inside of the Black Pearl. But covered in graffiti,
as hell.
Wood, graffiti, stickers, never been cleaned. They just turn the lights off at the end of the night.
That's cleaning.
Half skeleton guys with dreads walking around.
Yeah, the soap dispenser in the green room bathroom was filled with cockroaches. And the stage is like,
it's hard to wash your hands with
6 feet by 6 feet. So anyways, like,
shit.
Of course, that's the night where it hits me. It's talking to me a little bit,
What'd you have the day before, you think? Do you have any idea?
Who knows? Like
a Mapco hot dog?
Those little tornadoes on the rollers.
I had a Busy Bee Bratwurst sausage.
Oh, yeah.
Probably really, really, really old relish that you think is fresh because it's got a spoon in it.
Is that even a fresh spoon?
Nah. That's probably what I had. So I'm like... And I like, something's going on with my... Like, I got a sawed-off stomach, so it's like, it ain't right.
You got the Bee Gees?
I got the Bee Gees.
You got the bubbly guts.
I got the bubble gut. So I told my homie, who's my roommate, I was like, it's going down. Like, I got about 5 minutes to sort this out. But it's, like, too early because we're sound checking and everything's closed, so that's my only option. And so I go check out the bathroom. There's no lock on the door. And here's the best part. The only toilet that's, like, meant for taking a dump is upstairs in the bathroom. So you walk in the bathroom, and there's, like, 5 stairs, and then on a platform is a raw toilet. No toilet seat. No toilet paper.
So I've never heard anyone say a raw
It was
toilet.
a raw toilet seat.
How do you... Damn.
So, like,
you're using your legs the whole time
So picture this. You open the door, the toilet's at eye level. and then the urinals are to your right.
It's like you're like playing King of the Hill. Somebody
You're
else
looking
is coming
down
there.
on
I'm
everyone while you're
panicking
taking
because,
a
like,
shit.
in my mind, I'm like, from up there, my situation's about to be in the eyes of whoever walks in the door, and I'm vulnerable. You're like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm scared, I'm cold, I'm squatting because I'm not about to touch down on a raw public toilet seat. I'm just
You
standing.
get every disease available.
You're like Liam Neeson in The Gray or whatever. You're just up there, no wolf pack around you, you're just stuck.
It is the Russian tundra, and it's called a standing ovation because you don't want to touch down. You don't want to kiss the seat because you don't know who else has like done anything up there.
That's for the best.
Some up there vulnerable, just like squeezing out a chihuahua, and it's like
He's got a fucking tornado coming out.
I got a goddamn
It looks
tornado.
exactly the same coming out as it did going in.
Yep.
Yeah, and there I am, just up there, like 5 feet in the air, just squatting one out in the Black Pearl. And that's my worst dump story.
So the walls though, like you know, there's like a stall and shit.
No
that,
stall.
That wasn't a thing,
It
right?
was just a toilet 5 feet in the air.
Wait a minute. I was picturing that it was closed off.
No. It's like you walk in, 4 or 5 stairs, toilet. So it's like if you fall off the seat, you're going down.
But this is the whole bathroom just got a temple in it.
Yeah.
instead of this
Yeah,
toilet.
yeah.
An Aztec toilet.
I like to think there's not actually any plumbing, so they had to build it up so all the shit could just fill up
It
in
just
that
sits
spot.
underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there like
And
a
then once
porta
it
pot.
gets full, they seal that off and they build another one.
It didn't make sense at all.
That's disgusting.
The one time I was at Gentleman Jim's in Murfreesboro.
Which one? Don't say gentleman gyms like people don't know there's a dirty gyms and a clean gym. Which
Okay,
one?
well this was clean Jim's, but
Okay.
not much better, as you know.
No, it's not.
But so in there, when you walk in their bathroom,
The
it's
bathroom sucks.
it's about the size of like me to like the end of this little table right here, like this little square.
one person bathroom.
Yeah, one person out there, but you walk in, there's a toilet right here, there's a urinal right here, or there's a sink right beside it, and then there's a urinal on this wall. And usually people are they have the cheapest fucking drinks. Everybody in there's blackout. They're in $3 pitchers.
Oh,
Everybody in there's blackout drunk.
College bar.
Yeah, and it's right beside campus. And I go in there one day, and I'm pissing in the urinal. This guy runs in the bathroom, and he goes, "Dude, I'm so sorry." And he just drops his pants and starts shitting his ass off in the toilet. Dude, we're this close. Right? We're this close. There's
so
there's zero
sorry.
barrier or anything.
He just
And then-
out of his ass
Just
while you're
straight
sitting
up,
there
dude.
like what the
Straight
fuck
looked like
is
a
going
water main busted.
Did he
is
look
what
at
it
you
sounded
while he's
like.
doing it?
He had his eyes closed and he was sweating really hard. But yeah, so I'm sitting there, dick in hand. There's a man with his pants around his ankles, just
Vulnerable.
absolutely having an exorcism out of his ass.
Was it a typical frat boy?
It was a very hefty
Yeah.
frat boy. He looked like
No.
he was farm bred. Like he was straight farm to table to toilet, just straight up. He was a thick boy. And so he's shitting his
damn
brains out. I'm peeing for probably 6.5 years because I've had about 3 pitchers of beer at this point. And then this other guy comes in and he goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" And he goes, "Sorry guys." And he starts pissing in the sink. And the sink is like belly button high. And so he like hikes one leg up on the wall and he's pissing in the sink. So now we got 3 guys all in about a fucking 4 square foot space.
I has to make you 30%
One of them
gay.
shitting,
I
one of
has
them
to.
pissing. It was
I has
beautiful.
to.
What?
You have to be 30% gay because of that experience.
Did it turn you on a little bit?
I wouldn't say it turned me on. There were some tingles going on, you know.
I'll do it.
It got maybe about a thimble of blood pumping.
Nothing gets me going like a man who hikes a leg up in the sink.
Yeah, that'll do it every
That's
time.
hot.
The smell of big boy feces.
Oh, I can't imagine the
Smell
smell
like a
of that.
damn-
And everybody's probably just dark yellow piss in that bathroom because y'all ain't
Imagine the
drinking enough alcohol.
splashback.
It's everywhere. Y'all are all getting sprinkled.
Oh yeah, dude, that's scary. The sprinkle from him, dude. It sounded like he just came straight from a chili cook-off. Dude, he was
No.
he was
No.
not having a good time.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, so that happened. that
taste
one
it.
time.
We got some great, nasty stories, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
I didn't know what I was getting into, to be honest.
Now you
It's
We're
usually
in
we
it.
talk about music
We're
and
in
shit.
it, yeah.
but
Hey.
You made me tell the piss story, so we all had to one up each other.
But yeah.
That's what you do.
Anyway, dude, how'd you get started in music?
Great segue,
Pretty smooth transition.
Love it.
Well, my dad was a drummer, so I would kind of go to his rehearsals and sit in his lap while he played, and he would like let me play, but like hold my hands and stuff like that.
Like show you what's going on.
Yeah, and then from there I did all middle school, high school. I went to jazz college at Florida State.
Damn.
For like school music, jazz performance, for drumming, and then I was like, this is whack, so I dropped out and started touring.
Did you have to like try out or like qualify to get? You had to be proficient to get into that program.
Yeah, so they only accept like I'd say like 4 or 5 people into the drumming program, and I didn't even make it into the FSU. Like my SATs and ACTs was like I signed my name type situation. Like I wasn't that kind of student.
Right. So did you drum in like the school band, or did you?
Yeah, I did drum line. I did jazz band. I did an indoor drum line. I play with the chorus. So it's like I've been doing that forever. So I tried out for the college. I made it in, but I didn't make it into the school. So they had to pull strings. So then they pulled strings, and I got a scholarship.
Damn, so you're fire.
So
you're a good drummer. Damn good drummer.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Like,
They seem to think so. He had them fooled.
I mean, dude, you know how it is, especially in Nashville. You hear so many people saying, like, I've been drumming since I was 12. Like, not saying that you're not good, but just when I hear jazz school, I'm like, oh, all right, hands down, you got to be great.
You gotta be.
Yeah, you have to be. I remember Jonesy, our buddy, was taking bass lessons, like jazz bass or something, and I saw what he was doing, and I was like, oh, I get how technical this is now.
It's crazy.
He's a great.
It's wild.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to be a teacher, so I was like, what am I paying for?
So that was basically the end goal that you saw with school, was you're going to get out and be a teacher.
Everyone around me was.
That's what they're all doing.
And I was taking like singing classes with opera singers, and so I was just bombing every day. And I was like, what am I doing here? Like, this isn't for me. Like, I don't need to show my scholarship at a gig.
So did you make it through the semester?
I did 2 years and then dropped.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, so you got halfway through, and then...
I just picture you being in like an opera singing class, and they're singing...
Dude, they would use me as examples of how not to do it.
Shut up.
Why? I swear to God.
While you're standing there?
Like, they would say, like, I was the only non-singing major in my class. So then they would bring me up to the front and then play one note on the keyboard and hand me a piece of paper with the music written out and say, finish his line.
Yeah. How ironic that you sing now.
I know.
And you're pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like that's why I'm good.
Should have paid attention to class.
I should. Who cares about Bach theory?
Fuck that. His music would have been way more boring.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I would write. We'd had sections in the homework would be like, all right, write your own piece of music, and then the teacher would play it in front of the class, and that shit was beautiful. But you know, I got an F because it was parallel fourths and parallel fifths, and that's not of the Bach theory, apparently. So
I just picture you in that opera class, like they're singing, you know, like it's like the end scene of Step Brothers. They're all singing, and you're just like boats and hoes.
Yeah, straight up. And I was wearing like skinny jeans and like tight metal band t-shirts and stuff, so they hated me.
I was gonna ask if you wore like different, like if you like stood out by the stuff that you wore.
100%. I did not like.
So from day
there were
one,
graduate
like,
students with like suits, and I'm looking like this.
Holy shit!
Like an 8 a.m. class, all gothed out. And they're just like, let's make fun of this kid today. I'm like, fire.
Thank you.
So I guess we started going on what you listened to growing up, to like what you're influenced by. But so it was mainly that genre, that type of rock was what you grew up on. You didn't go left or right from that at all, like pop.
I listened to like literally everything. Like, I grew up country because my mom's side of the family like kills things for food.
Okay.
So like I grew up fishing and hunting. I can hang.
Okay.
And I know some stuff.
So you've hunted and went fishing.
I still enjoy fishing and stuff.
Okay.
So I grew up like early 2000s country as well. I listened to like Slipknot and all those.
You downloaded music as a kid? LimeWire and shit?
No, because my dad was a band manager, and if I got caught doing that'd be worse than doing drugs. Yeah, because his band, like, that he was managing lost like $20,000 on drop day because their shit got leaked. So if like I was doing that, he would kill me.
It was so fucking easy too to like download illegal music back in the day. Like,
so easy.
I literally had an app, I could just type in any song, and it was funny because sometimes I wasn't like super musically inclined back then. You know, I could like sing and stuff, but like I wasn't like writing songs or like studying any music or anything. And so like I'd download these songs sometimes, and like I'd play it for like some of my buddies that like were doing music or something. Like yeah, like you know, like let me get the aux, and I'd be like playing it, and they'd be like, this song's like sped up like 5 fucking.
Oh yeah, they would do that.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because this is the only way I've ever heard it, you know. And I'd hear it on the radio, like, oh, this is slow. Like,
what they do to it?
They had to speed it up so that they could torrent it, I guess.
That's weird.
I was buying CDs mostly.
Okay.
Like my first CD was The Killers.
Okay.
Hot Fuzz.
Nice.
And then like my second one was Pink's second album.
Okay.
And then
I had a hit clip of Pink. Remember hit clips?
I had a hit clip of Britney Spears. My second
so did I,
love.
dog. Come on now.
Boom.
Yeah, I had one of those tooth tunes.
Tooth.
What the hell is that?
Remember that? It's them toothbrushes that would play the song like up through your bones.
Yeah.
And it was like some Hannah Montana song, but it was.
Who was y'all's first love? Because I said
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears was my second.
Britney Spears.
Shania Twain was my first.
One was Martina McBride. I distinctly remember like sitting on the floor and my mom was watching some like award show or some like CMT award show or something. I remember Martina McBride was wearing a white dress and they had like a fan blowing her and the dress was like flipping out, and it was the first time I'd really ever really like thought about girls. I was like young, you know, and I remember I was just like, Mom, who is that? Like,
this was last week.
Yeah.
Why are your
2
pants
days ago.
sticking out so far?
Yeah, I was making a damn teepee in my sweats, probably. But yeah, she's still beautiful. But Shania was a close second love.
I heard Forever and For Always on the radio, and I was like, whoa.
Sheesh.
I heard them songs growing up, but I had dying, ever living, dying love for Britney Spears. I would this.
Shania's on another level, though.
Oh, I know. I loved her voice. I didn't even care what she looked like. I was like, this is it. That's my wife.
It turns out she looks
It's the voice of
great.
an angel.
It is. Britney Spears, though, that album where she's like coming through the beads.
Yeah.
That's the one that I had on my hit clip.
Yeah. I don't remember which one I had on hit clips. I just remember every CD I had them. And then NSYNC, Backstreet Boys was my shit.
Yeah,
and Christina Aguilera was
NSYNC
my
was the
second
first
love.
CD I ever got. I was like, that already sounds stupid, but then when I tell a story, it's even stupider. So I was taking karate lessons, right? because why not?
As one does.
In case some of the hay bales and Strawberry Plains decided they wanted to jude each other.
Nothing goes better with karate than NSYNC.
Yeah,
That's great. Just jamming NSYNC on your Walkman, doing your moves.
You know, we're just getting it.
Yeah.
Just on the beat.
Yeah.
No, we did this. We did like a parade. For some reason, my karate class did a parade. We're on like we weren't even on a float. Some guy was just pulling a trailer with his tractor, and just a bunch of kids wearing white belts throwing candy at other little kids at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody needed that.
You sure that was karate?
No, but they had us all there, and we're all wearing robes, so could have been anything.
That sounds racist. That is racist
or racist.
They were training us to live in the South, but
I don't like that.
We didn't. Hey,
that ain't right.
I was susceptible. I was a child. But I remember I had this like just the classic bubble gum that like twists up, you know, the yellow and blue.
Oh yeah, that double bubble.
Sure, yeah. I had a whole little bucket of that, little plastic bucket, and I just you get some goddamn kid. You get some goddamn. I'm just zipping in it.
Them bitches don't feel good when you get hurt with them either.
You feel like a fucking like Caesar or something when you're going through and you're just like tossing candy out on the ground. It's literally hitting the pavement, and kids are just like, oh,
pick that up.
Oh. Thank you, sir. More, and you're just like, maybe.
You know, things will wear your jaw out.
Yeah, they will. They didn't care.
You can't just eat one.
That's why you got TMJ or
I didn't eat them. I threw them at kids.
Oh, okay.
That's where the lockjaw came from.
Yeah. That came with my sensei. Anywho, he was a nice guy. I think.
Waxing off going on in there is what I heard.
No waxing on, lots of waxing on.
Yeah, lots of waxing off.
But I got to the bottom of this bubblegum thing, and I was like, what the hell is this? And there was a CD down there, and I was like, NSYNC. I was like, what the fuck is NSYNC? And so I got home, and I had like a CD player, put that bitch in there.
Cranked it,
dude. Next thing you know, I'm on my knees.
Love.
I'm on my knees singing Tearing on My Heart, bro. I'm getting into it.
With both arms up.
Oh, man.
And then I loved it, and so...
was it the yellow and maroon striped CD?
This was blue.
Oh, okay.
It was just blue with the...
Because I remember they gave out that specific one at McDonald's. Y'all remember that one? Boy,
This was
I
only, as far as
happy
I'm
fuck.
concerned, that CD is the only one they ever had because I never heard any other one. But I had that, and then my mom bought me a CD, and so my second CD ever was Def Leppard. And so
Alright.
I bought this little stereo, like, kind of set at, like a Goodwill or something, you know, and I just put it in there, and I just played the shit out of it. And then I went to, like, some, like, Native American thing with my grandparents, and I got this, like, Native American CD where they're just, like, playing, like, wooden flutes and shit.
That was your
And so
third
those are-
CD
that was
ever?
my
Was
third
a Native
CD, and so I
American
just had,
CD?
like, 3. And then I got another CD one year that was, the next CD I got was, 20, it was 25 tracks, all just different variations of Rocky Top. And that's
Sing me a piece of that real quick.
Rocky Top?
Yeah.
You don't know Rocky
I
Top?
don't know Rocky Top.
Oh shit!
Yes, you do.
Florida boy.
Where's Rocky
You
Top?
sing
It's
it.
like Tennessee's fight song.
Right.
Oh, Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no Rocky Shores on Rocky Top. You know, come on, dude. Rocky Top, you'll always.
It's the
the first
it's
time
like
I've heard
the
that.
thing they sing at all the Tennessee games,
Tennessee
right?
fight song, yeah.
Yeah.
I know nothing about no sports
So
ball.
I don't really either. I've been here for 7 years and that's all I know. So.
I had a 25 track CD of just different variations of that song.
That's
just
bullshit.
different productions, different, just the craziest
Who
shit you ever
spent
heard.
time on that?
I don't know. Who
Sounds
got? I don't
racist.
even know where I got it. Probably was. And I had a Crazy Frog CD.
Word.
You remember
Bro,
Crazy Frog?
Yes,
Of course.
but I'm just baffled at your first CDs. This is
That's
unacceptable.
why I'm so stupid.
Makes sense.
Like everything's
It's all
starting to come
adding up. It's all
together.
adding
Yeah,
up.
that's all adding up.
Yeah,
And
and
you
so,
won't question it.
that was my first experience with music.
That's a bummer.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of mine from
I know.
being able to
Look
steal
at
it.
where it brought me. I'm fucking sitting here with you two assholes
In that jacket.
in this jacket.
Yeah, that doily grandma napkin ass jacket.
My grandma couldn't even afford napkins this nice. I don't know who her grandma was, bro.
That would be a nice napkin.
You had a nice picnic on that thing.
Good, dude. Let's try it.
All right, so I do have to ask. One of the questions that came to mind today was when you're starting to write songs or getting. How do you start? Do you start with music first? Do you start with your drummer? Do you start with drums first? Do you? Because I imagine you have before, right? Started with drums first, and then
I've done
oh.
every option you can think of, but like what I like to do is to start with like a guitar hook
Okay.
or some sort of keyboard melody,
Okay.
and then I kind of just frame off of that.
Okay.
Like I won't really say words. I just be like "Da-na-da-na-na," like that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then maybe like in the phrases, like we'll have words that I rhyme off each other, and then I'll go back and listen to like what it sounds like I'm saying, and then I'll fill it in.
So you kind of put you'll put the music together first a little bit, and
Yeah, like a
then
little hook.
enough of it to where you record some vocals, and then you just
Yeah,
listen
and
to
I
like,
go
little loop back.
in order of the song. I'll never build the whole song out and then write the lyrics. I'll like start with an intro, pre-chorus, then like however it happens. Sometimes like I usually start with the chorus because that's just natural for me.
Okay.
Like the first hook I come up with turns into the chorus. So intro, loop, hook thing, chorus, and then I just go on from there and just slowly build it.
But you write it as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's all coming together.
Yeah, and I'll write the lyrics on the spot. I do have a note section that's like 15 pages of just lyrics and like phrases or ideas.
Stuff in your phone.
Yeah, so if I get stuck, I'll go off like an idea or a rhyme scheme, or like if I'm feeling a type of color one day, like that's what I'll go off of. It's always different.
Do you find yourself coming back to those notes you take a lot?
Yeah, sometimes they're all in there. I have everything that I've ever written down from the start of like writing music in that
Damn.
note section.
Okay.
But sometimes I would say like 80% of the time when I start a song in GarageBand, if I don't finish it in one sitting, I don't go back to it.
I was always that way too as far as producing music. I never wrote lyrics or anything, but as far as making, I came from just making beats. And if I couldn't finish it, unless it just for some reason caught, like somebody was like, hey, I need you to finish that for me or whatever, or it really caught my attention, it was just like, it's done. Done for the day. I
Like
couldn't-
Magazine was written in like 30 minutes to an hour. Full demo.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild.
A lot of my songs out right now are the same way. Or,
You ever record, like set up a camera and record yourself doing it?
No.
It'd be cool to look at in like 5 years.
Yeah, no. I like
especially if you know for most of the time that you can do it in that amount of time, and then just set it up and forget about it. You know what I mean? Like, don't
I have
put it right
some
in front of your
recordings
face.
of like some session stuff, but I call my car the booth because I record all my vocals in my car just with iPhone headphones.
Wait,
Not out. Not that's out.
Okay. I was
For,
like,
like
what?
my demos and stuff.
Okay.
I record all in my car because like you can fully like not be judged. You can be as loud as you want.
And you can immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, you can get loud. You can be quiet. You can try stupid lyrics without feeling dumb. And so that's
Okay.
kind of how I do it. Like when I do writing sessions all the time, I've done some with him. It's like it's always weird for me because like I feel like everyone in the room with me doesn't know what I'm doing. They don't know my situation. Like a classic Nashville write is, let's talk about a breakup. I'm like, how are 7 people going to relate to that same exact situation?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
his experience is probably different than mine,
Yeah.
and this person probably is married with the same chick they've been with since 6th grade. So it's like I just don't like writing sessions like that unless it's like super organic and open.
Just y'all happen to stumble upon the same
Yeah, or it's like
thing,
people
but
you
that's so
like
rare.
and that like get you, and it's like it's not a write. It's just a hang, and you're drinking and chilling, and then a song comes out of it.
And usually that's not like a plan to like we're gonna meet at 12 and like we'll be done at 4.
It's just
or
like
whatever.
yo, roll over
This
at
happens.
night, like bring some wine. Let's see
Right.
what happens.
Yeah.
And that's how good songs happen.
Yeah, I mean, that first write where I met him, there was probably like 7 fucking people there.
It felt like
I had never read with more than like 2 or 3 people. And there
it
was
felt
probably,
like a class.
yeah, it did. But it felt like we were teaching the class because almost
Yeah.
nobody else.
They
was
all had
really saying anything.
laptops and shit, and
Yeah.
it seemed like it was their first day in Nashville. I was like, what the hell is happening?
How
here?
many people were there?
Like 7, literally. I
Yeah.
think. And we wrote one song all together. But I feel like me and Corey really kind of just led the whole project.
We wrote the song.
We wrote
and
the
everyone
song.
else gets percent because in Nashville, if you're in the room, you get a percent.
Yeah.
Is that only in Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah.
In LA, they're counting out like
They'll
letters.
count words in LA.
What?
They're like, hey, well, I said, fucking 37 words.
in one chord.
Yeah.
Boom, that's 37%.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
Whatever the total is. That's crazy.
Anyone
The
else?
difference is
Anyone else got a pee?
Real bad.
Bro, I got it. You want to take
Yeah,
a break real
take
quick?
a little-
All right, cool. We'll pause real quick. We'll be right back.
Fine.
I don't think you have to tell them. We can probably just cut it out. But,
All right.
is that recording?
Yeah.
Sorry, I delayed.
Dude, it's all good.
Had to let it loose.
You had to rip. You had to let it rip. I had to too. I was glad he said it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I was waiting
sitting
for
here, I
you
was
to do
like-
it. I didn't want to be the guy.
He
I kept-
knew it was coming.
I kept looking up at the timer. And I was like, if I could hold out for about 20 more minutes.
That's what I thought too.
What's up, buddy?
She's gonna get it. She has to get in the camera angle at some point. She's in. She just. You gonna say something or no?
She usually says something when you touch her.
Usually she does. She's a very vocal cat. But I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Probably nothing.
Probably shit stories or something.
Yeah.
Or albums. I think I had asked you about how you start songs and how you, another question I want to ask you. How do you pick a fucking genre?
I don't.
Because you're all over the place.
Yeah, that's
which
my-
I love.
That's my biggest pet peeve is like, so when I first moved here, people would see me, and in every session they'd be like, MGK. Yo, I got this idea.
probably drives you nuts.
I'm just like, it's too easy. Like,
It's very formulaic.
my latest song
Very.
came from like an early Nashville session, and it's called Wires Cross, and it's very standard pop, punk, 90s rock, which is dope. But
It's a
like,
good song.
yeah, it's a great song. I just like, after doing so many writes like that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I just write, and whatever comes out, comes out. I've written country songs. I got to see it through. Doesn't mean I'm going to use it,
Right.
but I got to figure it out. I do a lot of rap, hip hop, and recently, like right now, I have about like 20 R&B rap songs.
Okay.
So that's probably where I'm going.
Okay.
More of like a Dijon, Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator type lane
Okay.
rap stuff, but with like a lot of guitars and stuff too, because I want to keep it like live for when I play it live, because I don't want to like have to learn my song and figure out how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it like as like what I usually say to the producer is let's start as if we're gonna play at a radio promo show. It's like acoustic and vocals, and then like you can still rap on that, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So you wanted to, that way it doesn't sound mad different when you're playing it live too.
Yeah.
That's another big
And
thing.
when we do play live, we convert a lot of stuff to like guitar, and we double it on bass and all that stuff.
So do you think your next project will be, the songs will be more similar? Or, because I feel like your last one was kind of, that's why I liked it. That was honestly my favorite part, but I think I talked to guys like Stryker and some other artists that we know around town, and a lot of people seem to want to commit to a genre because they don't want to confuse their fan base, which I've heard from top to the bottom. You know what I mean? As far as like skill level or as far as fame level.
I don't really care because like to me it's more marketable. So if like you have a different genre, that's just more playlists you can get on.
Okay.
As long as it's under the same umbrella of vibe.
Do you feel like you will confuse people when you play shows?
No. Because it's like the same. So like the artist XXXTentacion.
He
has songs where he's straight up New York rap. He has songs where it's like heavy metal, Slipknot samples. He's screaming on it. Then he has stuff where it's like acoustic and him singing with a room mic.
And pop. Have you ever heard his couple pop songs that he had?
Yeah.
Like really poppy, the SoundCloud songs?
Yeah, I did one with like Peep, and it's all different, but it fits under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like that to me is cool. As long like I try to keep it under the same vibe. It doesn't like not make sense. It's like
there's some sort of through line in it to you, and you think that as long as people like the music, they'll find that through line.
Yeah,
in
it's
all
because
your
like
music.
Trippie Redd can put out like a heavy rap song and then also sing pop on something, and it all makes sense.
So did you start getting more influenced by or paying more attention to hip hop the older you got? Or like more when you started making music, or like when did that kind of come into play?
I was listening to like a lot of R&B and like early 2000s, like radio rap.
Okay.
But like my stuff now, it's like each instrument is a different genre of music. So like the guitars in all my songs are like Deftones, Nirvana type tones and parts, and then my vocals will be like Frank Ocean. And then my bass stuff will be like jazz rooted, snarky puppy stuff. And I try to pull from everything, so it kind of like when I want to like hop to a different genre, it stays in the same vibe because the different instrument is kind of touching that circle of the Venn diagram.
So do you keep like guitars always are in the same lane as far as like style wise? So that way when you do
depends what the song's calling for, because like like even like hip hop stuff, it can be like a pop punk guitar tone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the next song is a pop punk song, it's the same tone and it makes sense.
Gotcha. That's pretty smart, actually. That's like I didn't think about it like that. I'd like to re-listen to your last project with that in mind.
Yeah, it's like using the same sample pack and then just doing different genres. Like you'll hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then live, like if I'm playing a rap song, like I'll just tell my guitar player Dylan just to anytime there's like an 808, play guitar chugs. So,
Okay.
So now it's like a heavy rock song, but it's still like hip hop.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the congruency in your songs, even when you're changing genres, is like has a lot to do with like your vocal production as well. And yours is always pretty consistent. I was just listening to most of your songs on the way here just to like make sure I was pretty familiar with them. And you do a lot of like really interesting vocal layers. Like if there's like some like kind of like I like to when I like show you to people and stuff like that. It's almost like you have a lot of like Billie Eilish tendencies as far as just like the way it's kind of like experimental with like what you wouldn't expect in like mainstream songs, especially because you have like I think I hear like obviously you do like your lead vocal and then there's some harmonies in there. But it sounds like there's just like some other shit, like you're just like talking or you're kind of yelling in the background or something.
Yeah, and
big fan of layering, like almost everything on the track.
Yeah, I like even if it's like the top line, it's layered 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
love it.
And that's just the top melody.
I love it.
And I do that because like I'm not a traditional singer, and I kind of play to that. And I don't claim that I'm a good singer. I write cool shit. I'm not worried about how talented I am vocally because I know so many talented vocalists that I would shit on live because they don't even know how to write a song or write their own
That's an
name.
interesting point of view, to be honest with you, because I've thought about like I have so many different thoughts in my mind that go on about songwriting in general, just because we talked about this, it might have been the first or second episode, but about how like I come from hip hop originally, like knowing the music and knowing how it's made and stuff. And then when I found out that in every other genre people write songs for each other, the mind fucked to me. Like I had no idea. So like I was still getting to know it, but to think like you're like, I'm not worried about how I actually sing because I'm confident in my songwriting ability and what I can create. So we can, with Pro Tools or whatever, we can make it sound good. We can layer it. There's tricks that we can do. There's tricks you can do live.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff you can do, but you're playing to your strengths and not worrying about your weaknesses as much as a vocalist, that's wild. Like that's some confidence though. I mean, that's what's
I feel
up.
like something cool too that sets your music apart, and I noticed it the very first time that me and him met and wrote together, is that I assume it's just because you come from a drumming background, you have a very interesting relationship with rhythm. And like I remember every time we'd like sing a line or put a line down in the song.
I fucked that up. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
What'd you do?
I fucking loop recorded.
Where we cut in.
When?
Yeah, where we cut in.
Since the
right
bathroom?
after taking a piss. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So now that was recorded.
I'm sorry. Nope.
Love
I
that.
fucked it up.
And we're back from a pee break.
Yeah, again.
We didn't fuck
Damn,
it
that
up.
was good. I'm gonna touch back on that about the through line on your songs. But go ahead. What are you talking about?
From the very first time we wrote, I noticed you had like a very interesting relationship with rhythm. I assume it's from your drumming background, because like we'd like lay a line down in the song, and it'd sound fine, a typical like mainstream like melody and line that you would just expect to hear, and then Corey would always come in and be like, what if like at the end we like hit like this syncopation, or we like did like this interesting like change or whatever. And it's like things that I wouldn't really think about because I'm just thinking about vocal melodies. And
Does the melody sound good? Do the words fit?
Yeah,
It's all about taste and like feel. And you can be talented as hell and be a dork that doesn't know what is cool. You know what I mean?
Because you don't have any sort of style for yourself.
Yeah, so
you don't
it's
let
like
what you like influence.
People will phrase things in the wackest ways, and it's like no rhythm. It's all on the downbeat. There's nothing interesting about it. If you can predict the next line, it sucks.
Very cookie cutter.
Yeah, so it's like I'm about like, if I heard someone say it on like TikTok or something about a bigger artist, but it's like if you take the melodies of the vocals and put it on the drum set, it could be like a drum part. So like when I kind of rap like that, like when I'm listening to the beat, I won't make words. I'll be like, so you're
just getting the feel of it down. That's like a Jay-Z thing. Doesn't Jay-Z write like that?
Yeah, and Kanye too.
Yeah.
It's just like framing.
Yeah.
And then you go back and like, what do those words sound like? Okay. Proud of me, and then you see, which is like kind of like that.
Yeah.
You kind of go into that, and that's how I write my parts.
Do you record that, or do you just kind of do it out loud?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
I'll record that, and then
You said in the car on your phone.
Yeah.
So,
or like even my voice memos are like that too.
Okay.
And I'll kind of try to depict what I'm saying, and then I kind of just put it out there like that. But yeah, as far as like melodies too, like Deftones kind of got me doing weird harmonies. So like since I'm not a singer, I don't know traditional harmonies. Like obviously there's thirds, and the normal's like third up, third down.
Right.
I hear naturally like sevens and fives.
Yeah.
That's just naturally what I hear. So like a lot of my music has weird ass harmony stacks that like by themselves it sounds super dissonant but fits with the music. And to me it's like you can put a weird harmony on a song if you just like pitch it down. Like the Billie Eilish mixing is like pan hard left and right.
Yeah.
I do that all the time with my stacks. Like I'll have like 10 vocal layers. Like there's a whisper track pan hard left and right. That makes it sound creepy and intimate. Then you have your main line centered. Then you got your harmony centered, but also like a third to the left, a third to the right.
So what you're saying is you take those technical aspects and stuff that is important to know about music and is important as far as technicality goes, but if you don't only rely on that, you're also like...
Just about if it feels good, because you could technically, like we were saying earlier, like with the Bach theory, like you're technically not allowed to have perfect moving fourths and perfect fifths, but it sounds nice because they're perfect. But like that was technically not correct in that time, which for me, I don't care about natural theory or anything that's supposed to be a certain way. If it sounds good, then it sounds good.
Even if it goes against the typical
Yeah,
music
even
theory.
if it's basic and sounds good, it sounds good. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So like what I'm going for is just feel. Does it feel right? Am I laid back on the beat enough? Because some people sing right on that shit and it doesn't feel right.
It feels too like mechanical.
Yeah, or edited too perfect. Like Frank Ocean and Dijon, their stuff is like vocally very unedited. But it's thought out. They know what they're doing. It's meant to be there. But a lot of it's supposed to be natural sounding for the feel of it.
It's interesting because some of my first like relationships with harmonies, that like up until like within like a year and a half or two, like I was not good at harmony. You know, just a lot
I feel
of,
like that's one of the hardest things to do in music. Period.
Some people,
in my opinion,
some
it
people
is.
just come so natural, dude. Some people can just sing any harmony they want.
It took me like 2 years to even hear a harmony.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you said like all the pop punk harmonies are like a little bit different. Because my first relationship with harmonies was singing like Mayday parades, like what was it, Punk Goes Acoustic album or whatever, like 3 Cheers for 5 years and stuff like that. And they sing like I don't even know what they are. But
Shout out Tallahassee.
Yeah.
My hometown.
And they sing like slightly different harmonies than you would hear in like mainstream pop music. And so when I was trying to sing these harmonies or whatever, that's what I would naturally do. And I'd be like, this doesn't sound like, this doesn't sound like Shawn Mendes or Justin Bieber. Like, why does it have this weird like dissonance to it?
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just mimicking what I knew, and it didn't fit the vibe that I was going for. It was just a different vibe than
Yeah, and
what I
sometimes
learned.
too, like on a lot of my demos that people haven't heard, like I'll write stuff and then I'll make a harmony the main line after I record it all.
What?
So it sounds.
What makes you want to do that?
I have no idea.
Where'd you get that idea?
You just.
You were like, I like that one better.
Yeah, I mean, some like Lil Peep does it a lot. Like, so imagine you write
I've
a whole.
never actually technically paid attention to his music.
You
much.
should.
I fuck with his
He's
music. But I've never,
marketed to look stupid and like a drug addict, but he's not. It's.
I mean, he was a drug addict, right?
I would believe so, but like I think he
But
was.
not stupid.
I think he was pandering to that crowd.
Playing his
Oh,
part.
yeah,
playing
if
his
you listen to
character.
his stuff, it's professionally mixed and mastered, and the parts are genius. He's not an idiot. It's
yeah, I don't
just-
think it's just like chance that his.
Yeah, I learned
There's
the
some good
most
shit that
in
he
my
has.
life from music from him,
No shit.
and I've played with world class people in jazz school, and I've seen, the drummer from Kind of Blue play in person. I've seen some shit, and like for me, I learned the most from the most basic musician ever, Lil Peep. It's not hard. It's not like he has songs where it's like 3 parts and that's it.
Yeah.
Just repeat it.
Yeah.
So like that's simplicity is very hard sometimes. But to answer your question, I would stack things and then I would like move like the 7 chord like it's slightly louder, and then it feels a different type of way. It like would go from like feeling super clean to like dirty as fuck and like whoa, that's weird.
You're like, this just gave the whole song a different vibe.
It creates a different texture. So
Damn,
it's
that is
interesting to play
fucking
with
cool
stuff like
shit,
that.
man. That is
Seether does it too. Pulling from that. Can't remember the song. I'll probably remember later. But Seether, I learned a lot of harmony stuff from them.
And your ear is good enough to where you can tell that's a 5th, that's a 7th.
No.
No?
No.
So how do you figure it out?
My bass player is
Okay.
like that.
Super
He
technical.
has like relative perfect pitch.
Yeah.
So
really
I'll like
good ear.
sing something to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's a 7 chord." I'm like, "Right, 7 chord."
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's what I thought.
That's-
There's
that's
something
what I
ear
was trying to
training
do.
too, though. Like when we had to do it in college. Did you have to do much of that in college?
Just a little bit. I had to take that like
Musicianship for engineers
musicianship for
class.
engineers, yeah.
I learned a lot in that class, and when I got out of that class, I had this weird sense of like, oh, they're like I couldn't tell you it's a 3rd or it's a 5th, but I could pick out way more stuff, and I could actually sing harmonies.
You
My
can, like,
voice is
solo out
trash,
parts
but
and
like,
stuff.
yeah,
What that class actually taught me was really, and I guess it was good. It taught me like because we had to do this like online portion of the class where it's like it's kind of like
stuff was hard.
my math lab kind of thing, like those like online things, but it was like for music, and you had to like it would like play an arpeggio, and you had to like say if it was like 135 or 157, whatever it was, stuff like that. But and like I didn't have a problem with that kind of stuff, but it kind of blew my mind because it showed me things that I was bad at, which was great because I knew what to like practice. But I was so fucking bad at, like, there was this one section where it would play a chord or a note. And you had to say, it would play the sound, and then you had to say how many notes were in that chord. And I was so fucking bad at it. Like, it could literally be...
Can't do that.
It could be one note.
That was the easiest part for me.
It could be one note, or it could be two notes.
Is an octave 2 notes or 1?
Octave is 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
but
playing-
so
yeah.
it could play like a C and an E, and I wouldn't have no clue. I'd be like, one note. It's like I just could not hear it, and it'd play like
Even after a while, like after
Even-
a
I
long
never
time,
got
so
better
you
at
always
it.
got really bad grades on those lessons.
terrible at that, dude.
Didn't the fucking score restart when you got one wrong?
Yeah.
Is that the thing with
Yeah.
it? You had to get like 5.
You had to get like 5 in a row right, or
Yeah.
you'd have to redo the
Oh, that was a bitch.
module. And I literally
I would
could
just
not
tell
do
him.
it.
I would just be like, I can't do it. He'd be like, do you want to try? I'm like, I'm not going to waste your time.
But at the time too, like I was doing like professional demo singing, and I was writing all kinds of music, and I was playing shows and stuff. And I was like, look, I'm doing fine without this.
That's why
Like,
it doesn't matter. Some people need it. It helps some people.
Yeah.
But it is not for everyone, and it should not be the standard.
Yeah, and I talked to my teacher about it, and she was really cool because MTSU was really good about having like adjunct professors that like were actually in the business and like doing real shit. And so I would tell her like, look, I'm literally making music and doing this shit like on my own, and I know I probably have like a D in the class, but I was like, I don't need this. She's like, I get it. Like I was the same way in school, so she was like very lenient on me. Like she would literally be like, hey, like, did you do your homework last night? I'm like, no, I had a show. And she'd be like, all right, well, I'll let it slide. And
That's
I just
nice.
be
Dude,
like,
I had a teacher like that I about didn't pass a class because I didn't
Yeah.
know everything in
I
your,
wouldn't have passed the class if she didn't help me out.
everything in your degree, like the falls under like for me audio production. I took a hip hop studies class as an elective, just as to get a credit,
Mhm.
and it was a great class. But I fucked up and didn't realize there was this homework we were supposed to be turning in all semester online.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize till like the last week. I told her all the shit that I had been doing, and kind of I was like, I know it's a half-assed excuse why I missed it, but she like took all it. She was like, give me a day. Took all that into consideration, and she had to write a letter to the dean.
Damn.
That's wild,
and
dude.
did it.
My
And
teacher made fun of me for being in a pop punk band that only used 3 chords per song
Love
in
that.
front of the whole
in
class.
front of the whole class.
Because people are
We
fucking
did
ruthless,
intro.
man.
I know. I was just like, this isn't for me. We did our introductions, and she was like, everyone say what you do. I'm like, I'm in a rock band. And she's like, what, do you only use 3 chords? I was like,
Immediately.
day 1.
Yeah, they just upset.
And I was like, nice.
Yeah,
I was
love
like,
that.
hell yeah.
I had a teacher tell he was like our A&R teacher, and so like I went to him and I like showed him my songs, so I like emailed him my songs, and I was like, yeah, like I'd like to meet with you and like just see what you think, and like if you can give me any kind of direction or anything. And we had that. He kept pushing it off. I kept going to his office. He'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't listen to him. Like try next week.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
like
guy.
3 weeks in a row, and then when we finally had that meeting, he was like, yeah, it sounds like you've written maybe like 6 songs in your lifetime, and really, he said there's just no room for your voice in pop music.
Brutal.
And I was
Catch
like,
me outside.
How about that?
Thanks, bro.
God damn, dude. That's like, I mean, I ended up telling you about that experience I had with that one teacher. Long story short, I told him in the end, he tried to basically grill me for screwing up. Basically, in the end, I told him, I was like, listen, you're robbing me of the opportunity to learn. I'm in college for a reason. I don't know everything. That's why I'm here. And then you're going to teach me something, but you're going to make me feel like a piece of shit for it? I learned the lesson. Like, let's get past this. And by the end of it, he apologized to me, but it was like, fuck, dude. Like, you're grilling me. Like,
Yeah, dude.
this
That's how
isn't,
this guy was.
like, it's...
You know who I'm talking about. He would never apologize for nothing. I can't wait. I really
don't
want to
know
win a
if I like
Grammy.
this.
Oh,
And send it to him. Send him
it
your
was
Grammy.
Matthew O'Brien.
I didn't have
I'll
LeBron.
say it. Oh, I don't care. I want everybody to know.
I don't know
He was
who
an
he is.
asshole.
Matthew.
O'Brien.
Fuck you, bitch.
All right, and I hate to repeat, but I think it was because I screwed up the recording after we came back from taking a piss. But there was we were talking about the through line in all your music, and I asked you how you pick a genre, and you said that, well, just go ahead and kind of explain that again if you don't mind, as far as like,
Yeah, so I don't pick a genre. I just try to keep it under the same umbrella vibe. So my example was like XXX Tentacion. Like, he can write an emo, just guitar and vocal song, and then the next song is like screaming rap. And then the next song is like New York hip hop, and then the next song is like a pop emo track. That's where I try to keep it. I don't want to like You know, like my biggest fear is having something blow up, and then that's my life.
You're like forced into only that because that's the one big thing you're
I would
for.
hate that.
So you want to let people know from the jump, like, it's not always going to be the same formula. It's not
Yeah,
always
I mean,
gonna be the
I
same
told my
song.
manager last week, I was like, if I die tomorrow, I want to at least be happy with what I'm doing. Like, I want to be happy with the artwork I'm putting out. I don't want to get nitpicked with, oh, this is metal band artwork for a pop song. I know, like, that shit's fire. It's a vibe. Like, look at, like, all the early SoundCloud rappers were doing that. They all listened to Slipknot but made rap music. So, of course, their font is going to be crucifixion font.
Yeah.
So like I was just like, I'm just making whatever I feel like making, so like if I die I'm happy with it. It all makes sense. It's never like a curveball. It's all under the same category. There's a lot of artists that do that shit.
You said you take a lot of the instruments and like you do a similar part. They play a similar part in every song.
Yeah, each instrument is pulling from a different genre of music. So like my guitars is like post grunge, Deftones, Alice in Chains, and my harmonies are Alice in Chains also, and Deftones, and then my beats are like Dijon, Frank Ocean, pulled from jazz sampling, and I love like muted trumpet, so like I'll sample muted trumpet all the time from like vinyl records I have. So everything is pulling, and then my vocal hooks are like very pop.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to like keep a
Catchy as
vibe,
fuck.
keep it dark, make it catchy. Like one of my favorite bands is Seether.
Okay.
Like super catchy, but it's
Yeah.
still heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Like how many hits? They have so many hits.
Yeah.
They're one of those bands like, oh, that's them. Oh, crazy. Cause I'm broke. Like,
Right.
so I just try to I try to make it all make sense while keeping it interesting and not like selling out.
I think it really, I mean, that's something I'm honest to God probably going to think about for a couple weeks, just because when you see artists that do, I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion because the way you're expressing it now makes me think about him different, but XXX, like, I remember when he was popping off and I went to his SoundCloud and started looking through, like, oh, how did he get here? How did this happen?
Exactly.
Like, what's he
Like,
been making?
yeah.
And it was all so different. I didn't see a through line in any of it. I don't know if there was one. I think he just threw shit at the wall. I thought, maybe, what's your opinion on this? But I thought that he was just throwing shit at the wall until it stuck.
I don't think. I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Really?
Yeah. Because like when I first heard it, I wasn't like, oh, this is crazy. I did think that, but
What'd you hear first from him? Because that makes a difference, too, I think.
what's that?
Was it a heavy rap song?
Yeah.
The one where he's screaming? Yeah, dude, those were like Young Brats and all that stuff was my...
Look
at me.
Look at me.
Yeah.
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 That's the first one I heard, and I was like, whoa. Okay, I was like, that's something. Like I wasn't ready.
Also,
for that.
do you know the song Holy Water by The Game?
No.
It's
Yes,
that
yes.
is the sample.
Oh, really?
That's
cool.
Yeah.
But my first thought was like, what is he listening to? Like I wasn't ever like, man, this doesn't make sense. I was like, where the hell is he pulling this shit from? And then like you hear another song and he sampled Slipknot for the intro, for like one measure. And that's it. So I was like, okay, he's checking out Slipknot. And then you hear like Ski Mask talking about Slipknot. So I was like, oh, these dudes were checking out heavy shit,
Yeah, they're hardcore.
but they're like influenced by like rap. So that's just like naturally what's going into it. So all their beats are like super intelligent. And that's another thing that got me from X is like the way it's produced. Is like,
Did you know about Ski Mask is the one from South Florida, right? Or no? Who's the guy that produced a
they're
lot for
both
him?
from like Fort Myers.
Ronnie J is who I'm thinking of. Remember Ronnie J was his producer for a while?
Yeah.
That sound, at least from what I heard, I think it was like a YouTube interview or something, because the dude had shitty speakers, and every time he made hip-hop music
It
with
was
the heavy
overdriven.
bass, it was overdriven. It sounded like shit and it was distorted, but it ended up becoming
And
hot.
it influenced
And it
every,
caught-
like,
caught
Billie
on
Eilish
like
took that
crazy.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Like
dude,
the
Travis
end of-
Scott,
end
all
of
of them.
Bad Guy.
Kanye, all of them.
Yeah.
That's an insane, like now it's a like almost a mixing technique by Mike Dean, which mixes for Kanye, and he distorts bass all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
like,
So it's
what
like
the fuck?
a kid in high school who is like well versed in many genres influenced all of music. Like,
Like
he
kind
was
of
a-
like it's similar to Young Lean.
right.
I mean, I just recently learned in the past 3 to 6 months how influential he was, and then I learned that, and then his song, "Bitches Come and Go," but I stay. That's now hot on TikTok.
There's another song called Chandelier that's fire. It's a vibe. It's not like it's not an intelligent song, but that's what makes it fire. It's because it's so like dumb.
Did you listen to him when he was hot? Did you know about him?
No.
I didn't really know. I had heard about him, but I thought it was trash, so I never fucked with
Some
it.
of it's trash.
Some of it's
But,
trash.
like,
I mean,
the hooks are fire.
Okay, yeah.
Like he knows what he's doing. It's a vibe. You know what I mean? Like there's no way any of his songs play in a club and people are like, what the fuck is this? Like anytime his shit plays, it's like, I call them strip club songs. Like you might hear a rap song, you might, man, this is trash. But if there's a stripper dancing to it, that shit is hot.
Oh, that's fire. That's funny.
And it's like not it's not supposed to be intelligent. It's not like they're
not
dumb.
about that.
Yeah, it's just about fucking turning up, and it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
So like, bitches come and go, bro. Like that's like a club song now.
Yeah. That's
wild.
like a big. I feel like a big hang up. Like depending on where you're coming up in music. Because at MTSU where we went, I didn't write my first song until my freshman year of college, and it was just because I was so goddamn sad. I didn't have any way to express that, and I just did it. I didn't play guitar or anything. I literally just wrote it on paper, just a vocal. And
no music or nothing?
Nothing. I just wrote it.
That's poetry.
It was pretty much poetry with just tears on the paper. Because I was the saddest guy in the world for that semester. And but when I finally switched over to the music program and started meeting all these other artists and getting into songwriting and stuff, when I was there at least, it was predominantly like folk and folk pop artists. And so they were writing these super deep songs that meant like so much shit every time they were writing them. Like you listen to one of their songs, you about to tear up, and you're like, God damn, like these people are really writing songs. And then I was making pop music, and not every fucking song has to like mean something. Some are just for fun and just to make people feel a vibe and stuff like that. But like that was like I wouldn't say that they like looked down on me for that. Some of them did, but like you just felt like you weren't like as good of a writer because these people were like putting serious. They were putting serious lyrics down. Like some like Jason Isbell.
It's just time.
Yeah.
Like I mean, if you heard the shit I was writing when I first started, dog ass.
But they were putting like they were putting like some fucking like Jason Isbell lyrics. Like they were really right. Like you're like, oh shit, that's profound. You're
that
like,
that makes you work though.
Yeah, it did make me work for
sure.
sure.
And you're like,
it made me work for sure, right. But also I was like, it took me for. I was like, man, my songs are like dog shit compared to these songs. But it was more. I finally eventually got to a place where I realized that it was like I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to make people think and make something profound. I was trying to make something for you to like vibe to in your car.
There's a lot of different aspects to making music, and sometimes the goal isn't to be the most, to your point with the musical part of it, and then to your point with the writing part of it, it doesn't have to be his writing is perfect and it's the best pop song written ever, and his music is perfect and it works this way because of these chords go together, and like it doesn't, if it fucking feels good,
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of the point.
There's like way more like malleability with like songs than people think. Like you can really toy with them and play with them and make them different, and like that was something that was like lost on me at first, and then so I just kept stressing like my lyrics. I was like, okay, well I gotta keep these fun, but also if somebody were to analyze the lyrics, they would really enjoy the lyrics, which I mean it's kind of become what I do, which is like not, it's like a little bit different, and then that's become more popular with like, I always talk about like JP Sachs, like Julian Michaels and people like that. Like they're writing like fun pop songs that you can like just jam out to your car, but then you can also just sit and listen to them, and they're just like really good to listen to. And I feel like a lot of times people get stuck in either lane, and then it takes like you were saying earlier, and I wanted to interject where you were like, it's easy to just hit every melody on the downbeat and everything like that, and it's like that is easy, and that's why a lot of people do it, but it takes some like technical know-how to understand. Like when I was first starting out, like syncopation is huge in like pop music and in really any kind of music, and it's like that takes some technical know-how to be able to be like, why isn't this sounding how I want it to be? Oh, because I should be coming in on the and.
But there's a fine line between letting that technical know-how get in the way of your creativity.
Taste lies within what you don't play.
Yeah.
So it's like, my professor always told me, like, you'll be amazing when you know when not to play.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like a great like example of that is like John Mayer playing solos
Yeah,
or
you
B.B.
leave
King or
space.
something like that.
Okay.
You
Where
hit
they're
a
just
lick,
making
you
space,
let it
yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
Like, that's all about feel, and it's like for comedians knowing when to hit that punchline or that
Or like
amount
when
of
you're
space
making a
to-
beat, like knowing when you've added enough.
Yeah, you don't want it to
Like,
be
you
too
don't-
complicated because then it walks on the vocal line.
Right.
You don't want the vocal line
Almost
to be
back
too
to
much.
that point. I don't know if we end up recording it, but like your point of like simplicity is like it's
hard.
it's hard, but it's key.
Like-
it's like there's a brand I fucking absolutely love. It's Diamond Supply Company. Diamond Supply. Jesus
Take
Christ.
3.
This is brought to you by Diamond Supply.
I had to say it 3 times to get the ad money. But I was obsessed with it for a long time. They had this shirt, and it was like the top of a diamond. It's about this big on the shirt, and then around it said, "Simplicity is brilliance." And I never understood that. And I think in about hey Shad, in about the last year, that has really like actually started to make sense to me a little bit. Because to what you're saying, like you have to know when to not play or when to like leave it alone. When is it good? Like
Yeah.
stop adding
Because
to it.
in jazz, for example, like solos for drums are like a melody. In your frame, when you take a solo, you're framing the chord structure. It's not just like an open solo. So if you're playing in an A-A-B-A, your drum solo will be A-A-B-A. So like your A's can be triplets and then the B can be sixteenths to distinguish a different section. And then you go back to the triplet stuff. So like a good musician can like quote themselves, quote other people, and not like when you're having a conversation with someone, you don't want to talk at them. You want to leave room for them to interject and have an opinion. But you're an asshole if you just talk at someone and then walk away.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that in music. You got to know when to listen. You got to know when to let the listener take it in.
So it's so making music is almost a conversation between the creator and the listener.
Pretty
It
much.
is a
'Cause
conversation.
if something crazy
I
happens,
never thought of it that way.
if it's just
Even
crazy
though it
the whole
makes
time,
sense
you
once you say
can't
it.
you can't even process the first crazy thing that happened, because by the time the first crazy thing goes through your thought process, the fifth thing is coming, and it's just too busy, and you can't even like man, that was tasteful. It's tasteful if it happens once.
Gosh, that's such a cool way to think about it. I just never thought about it like that. Like, especially if you're trying to draw examples from people that do it really well, and you're like, oh, they added this part here, like I should add something like that to a song I make, and then you do it, and you're like, why does it sound so much? Like, why is this in the way of everything? Like, that's why.
Yeah, and then you can quote yourself later. Like, I'll frequently, like, sometimes my first verse will also be the bridge.
Yeah.
Because why not? It's just another hook. Because every hook should be as powerful as a chorus in its own way. But, you know, each section has its moment. So your verses aren't going to be the moment the chorus is having. But it could still be a chorus in itself. Hence, making it a bridge. Because to me, bridges are a second chorus.
Yeah, they stand alone and
Right.
stick out. And,
Yeah, or your post-chorus, you know, guitar hook turns into your bridge later during the guitar solo. You're just giving a taste test before it happens.
letting them know a little bit about it, or
Yeah.
like it's like sprinkling in a little bit of the catchy hook in the intro. Or,
Yeah, it's all about taste and where it goes and when it doesn't go, and you know, when do you cut the drums out so the melody can speak.
That's cool. That's a really cool way to think about it. I always like hearing how people think. It's you when you start doing it, you think, oh yeah, everybody like kind of thinks like the same about. They're sitting in front of Pro Tools or whatever, like
Yeah.
they think the same shit, and then not at all. Not at all. It's so cool. Super cool. And your next step, you said, I don't know if we got that part either, but you said the next step's a lot more geared towards R&B.
So I have 2 more songs ready to launch that are done that are more on the like 90s rock wave.
Singles.
Yeah, I'll probably do singles.
Do you like doing a lot of singles?
I have to. It's the industry standard now.
Yeah.
If you put out an album, it gets buried. Prime example is Joji. He dropped an album. No one knows about it.
You know Joji?
Yeah, shit's hot.
Oh boy.
It's his best album, but it didn't get love because he dropped it as an album.
The album's pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like...
Damn, I haven't listened to that in a while. I'm glad
I'm pretty
you
sure
brought
he
that
has,
back
he has
up.
a recent album. like this year.
Oh, this year.
I think
Okay,
so.
I found out about him when he came out. What's the one with the two chicks shaking their ass on the cover and his face?
Yeah, it's
and
all-
he's like asleep.
Yeah.
That's when I learned about him, and that's actually the last time I had sat and listened to
So
him.
he's
for a while.
got new stuff, but it didn't get love because he didn't drop many singles. I don't think. I could be wrong, but
I heard, yeah, right. That's what I heard.
yeah,
and I was like,
right.
and I was like, it's
Fire.
genius. It's just a genius song. Like I love the meaning of the song and then
Non-traditional singing.
how
He's just
exactly.
creative, and it's
Yeah.
a vibe.
Yep.
That's
and
like
then, and he
you-
did a
you
lot
smoke
of
that
his
shit, and you gain a third eye.
yeah.
You're just like, how did this happen?
Yeah, and he made the music video with like iPhones or less. Like you could tell, or they added those effects to the video or whatever. If you did that, you're just killing yourself. But like,
Probably that.
yeah, they probably have nice cameras. But
Everything's planned out. Nothing's real.
yeah, but it just all looked like you shot it off of like VCR tapes. You know, it was all like old school looking, very simple, and like I don't know. When I found out about it, like he was I cannot believe I haven't listened to him since that album.
He was a YouTuber.
He was the pink dude
He was
or
the
whatever.
Harlem Shake guy.
The Harlem Shake guy. He was the pink man. What was that pink thing called?
The morph suit.
Yeah, with the morph suit. He had like a name for it or something. But he did all kinds of weird shit. And then like it was just cool to me. Like that was when I landed on him, and then I started learning all this shit about him and stuff. But very unique character. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop singles.
Okay.
It's just better. Like an unknown artist, you can't really be putting out more than one thing at the same time. So you got to focus all your energy towards one thing.
So do you get a few ready and then
Yeah, it's just
Send
it
'em off,
depends
or-
when I have money.
gotcha?
Like I would go record 15 songs right now, but I don't have that money.
Right.
Yeah, I know that.
If a label was like, "Here's 20K, like have fun," I'd be going for a month
Right.
doing like music.
Right.
But right now it's like, okay, I got some cash. I'm gonna go do one song.
And you have a guy you work with all the time.
Yeah, in LA. His name's Ben Zellico.
So you gotta go all the way out there to work with him.
Yeah, it's cheap.
It's that way.
Yes, this way.
That way.
Whatever way you're facing, that's as if you're looking at a map.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that way for me.
For you, it's that way.
Yeah,
For us,
for us,
it's
yeah.
just,
We have to go that way.
dude, we get round trips for like $80.
Yeah, they're not that much right now.
Sky scan.
I think they are now. The gas prices went up.
Maybe.
Y'all check plane tickets lately? We're about to go somewhere.
I did it for $63 once round trip.
During the past 2 years, I can imagine you have. Yeah. But coming up with this gas going up how it has, I guarantee it ain't going to be like
Or
that.
maybe they want, like, no one's flying because they have that mindset and they want to fill the seats so we get them cheap flights.
I like the way you think. You're a very positive man.
Yeah.
They
I'm
still
a
have to
little
make
more
cheap
cynical.
tickets because people still are scared of COVID and not flying. So they gotta sell. They gotta sell.
Ain't nobody scared of COVID no more.
Yeah,
It's
they
over,
would be
bruh.
surprised.
We're at war, bruh. COVID's over.
Hey,
I
get
recorded my
everybody talking
last
about COVID.
EP when COVID was happening because the flights were so
Like when it
cheap.
That's
popped
what
off?
we did.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We flew to.
2020.
We flew,
I had no choice.
we
Like,
flew to LA in February 2021,
yeah.
and it was $100 round trip. And
I remember y'all telling me you're leaving. You were like, "Yeah, we're leaving next week." I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Tickets are $50."
yeah,
That's
dude.
exactly what my mindset. Like, my parents were like, don't see me. So I was like, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can't see my parents. Like, I might as well get some shit done. I call my producer. I was like, are you chill with this? Like, is it cool? And he's like, I need a test before you come in and a week before you leave. And I was like, word. And so we went. It was like completely like somewhat safe because no one was flying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're like,
So we went.
Or the
there was-
airports
there
are
was,
like just
There were so few people on our airplane that they had to space us out for weight distribution.
holy
Me and-
shit.
yeah.
And me and Red, we were on a big plane with like 3 seats on each side, on each side of the road. And I was far against this window, and he was far against that window, and there was nobody else in between us because they just had to space people out so it wait. Like that's how few people were on the fucking plane. There's probably 15 people on like
That's so nice though.
200
I hate sitting right next to
Yeah.
people on planes.
It was special. We got
hate that.
blitz drunk on there for free.
I know.
It was Red's first flight ever. My roommate Red, he went with us, and we got to the airport early because usually airports are fucked. But because of COVID, there wasn't a single motherfucker there, and so we were just there 2 hours before our flight. We didn't have nothing to do, so we went to this little like food place, and there were flight attendants in line behind us, and they were bitching about they needed to get on their flight or whatever, and this lady was taking so long to get her tacos or whatever. And so me and Red were just like, yeah, y'all can go in front of us. We got 2 hours to kill. Like, that's fine. So we let them in front of us. They're like, thank you so much. And then it turned out they were our flight attendants. We didn't know, obviously. Then we get on there. She came up to us at the beginning of the flight. She said, hey, thank you guys for letting us in line in front of you. She said, y'all's drinks were on us the whole flight.
And that's what's up,
Bro,
dude.
we literally, I tried to calculate it, and I drank like $96 worth of
They
drinks.
regret that.
You get more fucked up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't confirm, dude. When David picked us up from the airport. He was our drummer at the time, and he lived out there. He picked us up from the airport. He's like, "What's up, guys? Like, great to see you." And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are you guys fucked up?" We're like, "Yeah." You take us to In-N-Out. We're fucked.
Try to get that secret menu.
And that was Red's first flight ever. And he was like, "Bro, flying's lit." I was like, "It's not always like that."
It's never like that.
Usually you're like hot. You got the hot neck.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, hot neck. You don't
Fat
get
man's
that
neck.
unless you're on a plane. Like you only get hot neck on the plane.
Yeah.
You can't really.
You sit
move.
beside fucking Paul Blart.
Yeah, dude.
It's just the worst shit you ever done.
I generally don't get uncomfortable. I don't like smalls. I can do elevators, all that shit, but like I don't like really small spaces in general. But the last flight I went on, I was at a section of the plane where it kind of came in just a little bit for something on the outside, like where the windows were. They just, I mean, maybe
Extra
an
crane shaft for sure.
inch or something,
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I feel horrible. Like I was just like, I don't know. I was just too close. I was trying to. I was trying to listen to music.
Purse.
Yeah. Like I was about to get robbed.
I just can't, like, if you try to contain my leg space, it ain't happening for me.
That's how I felt.
I gotta be free.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
gotta.
And I was like, next time, I heard about this hack. I don't know if this really works, but I heard if you buy like the getaway tickets, there's like 3 tiers of tickets. You know, like one of them's like at least on Southwest. I don't know about the others, but one of them's like it's the cheapest. It's like I just want to get away, and it's like a one-off trip or whatever is kind of the idea. So they're cheaper tickets, but when you get to the gate, you tell them you want to upgrade, and then you can get to better seats, but for cheaper. Because online they'll charge like $200, but on, you know, you can buy your getaway ticket for $97. Then you kind of upgrade for like $40 at the gate.
Or you just wait till everyone gets on. You wait for the last call, and then you get any seat you want. Because you're the last.
There's
one.
usually only shitty seats left.
Not if there's a first class open. I mean, you know, you
You
got.
can sit in first class even if you didn't buy the ticket.
They're not gonna check. As long as you're the last one on.
Boy, I don't know about that.
You still got your seat in the back.
You do that?
Goes wrong. I've never done it.
Oh, okay.
I've seen videos on it where I'm like,
Once they
don't
shut the
mind if
door,
I
dude,
do.
you know where everybody's sitting.
yeah, exactly. If there's like 2 first class open and you're the last one on there, you can just sit down. It's not like they're gonna check your credentials or anything.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna go put an out of order sign on the bathroom and just chill in there for 3.5 hours.
Fuck that little bathroom.
You get sucked through that whole room.
Dude, when
Oh,
you
hell
flush
yeah.
the toilet, it's like it just opens up a portal, dude.
That'll suck a turd out of your ass. I
Yeah.
swear to God it will.
Just like we were talking about before.
What?
The fucking. That's all, since his only bathroom's upstairs, he needs to get one of those. You know how banks have those vacuum tubes?
It's
to, like,
disgusting, bro.
just have one run to
You just
the
hold the
ceiling.
nozzle right up to your
Yeah.
fucking joints.
Just straight up to the ceiling.
That'd be a filthy pipe.
It would be. I wouldn't have to clean it. It'd be at your house.
That old dirt box.
You're just like cleaning a blender. You just put like soap and water and it sucks it through, you know?
He's got that idea. He's
You
here.
got it down. What are you doing?
But you guys are filthy.
Professional.
Fucking professional shit.
At least we
As
didn't
learned.
waffle stomp a turd into the, into the shower floor, you monster. You animal pervert.
It has nothing to do with anything we're talking about right now. We're not going there.
Just gotta put you on.
Before we get done, is there anything that you want to like, any specific thing you want to promote or plug? Obviously, you're probably
Let me get
latest
the
single,
calendar.
right?
So let me come
You got
over
release
here and
dates
see what I should
for
say.
stuff?
So, yeah, my song Wires Crossed is out now.
Check it out. It's a vibe.
Go check it out. It's a vibe.
Would you like us to, or do we have permission to,
Yeah.
like play a song after the
Play
episode?
whatever you want to play.
Cool. All right, cool. Any specific song you'd rather us play?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Have a show at the Underdog on the 19th in April.
Where's that at?
Underdog.
Is that Nashville?
East Nashville,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I ain't leaving Nashville for a while.
All right.
And then I have another show at the same place on the 20th of May.
Okay.
So just trying to get a bunch of shows in.
What days are those on?
One's like a Tuesday and a Friday, I think.
Okay. Trying to go to one of them?
We have to.
Yeah, you have to at your Nashville.
Bro, I'd love to see it.
I didn't come here for no
live.
reason. I'm trying to get 2 more seats at my show.
yeah.
He spent all his time just to
scan
get
this
us coming
QR code. Buy your ticket right now.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely.
I mean, they're free. Like I said, I'm just
the free shows?
yeah, I'm
Nice.
just doing stuff so like I get comfortable because I've only played 1 show singing ever, like
Really?
as an artist.
Okay.
I've never sang before, so I'm just like, I'm not trash though. Like, let's get that.
Wow.
It's different for me. Like, I've been playing shows for drums forever.
You've been sitting in the back forever.
Right. I can hide.
You know, I've always
Behind some
said,
cymbals.
I feel, and maybe you feel different, but I've always felt the worst for drummers. They have the most equipment. They spend, generally, I would say they have to spend, like the required amount of money to spend to play drums is ridiculous in comparison
My
to
snare
everyone
drum
else.
was $1,200.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already there. You're already on the same page. You're shoved in the back.
Cymbals are
And
so
then-
much fucking money for no reason.
Like $350.
And
a piece.
delicate,
Yeah.
and you have to have the cases and all that shit, and there's space to bring it, like a car to bring it in, and then you get shoved in the back, and then after you're done, ain't nobody want to help you pick up.
I feel like it goes well if you're intelligent. Like
Drumming?
Yeah. Don't get in
I
a
know a lot
band
of
with a
stupid
bunch of
fucking drummers,
douchebags who
so-
won't help you. You know what I mean? When I was in bands, like, my stuff was equal lift to everyone
Yeah.
else's. Like, in the band, everyone's stuff was like, no one's done until everything's in the band.
As in, they help you
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah, if I'm the
Or-
last one with stuff, they're helping me. Like, everyone knew how to pack my stuff away as if I wasn't there.
That's
So-
dope. That's cool. Was that like a thing that y'all established from the
Yeah.
beginning?
Because, like, you know, as a singer now, I could just put the mic in my pocket and leave.
yeah.
No one's gonna respect me.
We've seen it happen
That's
so many
that
times.
you don't gain respect that way. So
No.
it's like you kind of gotta like, you know, get in the trenches a little bit and like
Yeah.
do your work. Like,
Everybody's in the same
yeah,
shit.
if you want your drummer to respect you, you better fucking help him carry some shit.
I feel like a lot of
Absolutely.
times the singers too, myself being a singer, like after the show's over, like everybody wants to talk to you. They call the fans and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's really easy for the singer to just get hung up and talking to everybody while the fucking band's cleaning up all the
You know what's
shit.
rock star as fuck though? Not talking to people.
yeah. Oh, cool. You want a picture?
I swear to God, like not in a dick way. It's like in a set, people get hype if you don't talk to them for 3 songs
Yeah.
because then they want you to talk to them.
So when you do, it's like,
It's like, oh my God.
yeah, he did it.
Even if it's like, you know, small things like that. It's like I'm trying to figure out and learn as a singer now because like, you know, it's a shock when you finish a song and everyone's looking at you to say something.
How do you feel? Do you feel pretty vulnerable being the guy in front? Like,
It's weird, but when I get up there, it's like I don't give a fuck. So it's like
you have a switch?
yeah,
that you
it's
flip,
like
or
if I sound like ass, I don't care.
do you take like a song or two or a beer or two to get into it?
I
or
don't
like,
drink when I play until
Nice.
after.
Nice.
As far as right now, because I'm not experienced enough. Because like right now, like that could hurt my voice. Like I'm
Never think
pounding.
about that.
I'm pounding water the night before a show
Yeah.
and the whole day and doing warm-ups all day just because like until I'm good I can't be fucking around like that. Like I gotta really be on because like if I'm only good for 5 songs and that's my set, then I gotta be good for 5 songs. But if I like take a shot and drink a beer, that might take out one of those songs or take out a register
Right.
in my voice. So like right now I can't be doing that shit. So I'm like pretty serious about that.
It's crazy how much alcohol like affects your like vocal control. Like you can just drink a little bit. Like if I have like more than like 2 or 3 shots, like my runs are just gonna be all thrown together. Everything's just gonna sound super like sloshy, not tight. And then also, it's just also with beer, you burp a lot.
Yeah.
Dude,
I know.
And singing,
Trying to finish a line while holding a
while
burp.
you know you're about to burp.
You're like singing and you go, and then
Yeah,
come back to
literally.
it.
That happens all the time, dude. And it's
God, that's
tricky.
fucked.
I don't know what it is about singing, but it like kind of
Makes you have to
activates.
burp.
It activates.
And you're like consuming like double the liquids.
Yeah, I always say my motto, like, because I, you know, obviously, so when you drink water, it doesn't actually touch your vocal cords, and so you
You only
have.
learned that because you had to go get your shit checked out. Didn't
No,
you?
I knew that. I found this out
Okay,
a couple
because I had
years ago.
no idea about that.
Because obviously, like when you've been singing a lot or something, you're like drinking water, like, and it soothes your throat a little bit, but it doesn't actually touch your vocal cords. So the only way to hydrate your vocal cords is to be hydrated,
Yeah.
or those vapor inhalers that a lot of people are using now. It's like I've always said that if you're not pissing clear before a show, then you've already done yourself a disservice. Like you got to be pounding water.
Yeah, and at this point in my career, which is like, I'm like playing my 3rd show, is like I gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
Third show
To
is a
my
solo
abilities.
act. But how many shows have you played in general? They're in
Hundreds.
Hundreds. You played in
Yeah.
hundreds of shows. So
Hundreds.
you're used to the stage, but this is a whole.
I've done everything from like 9,000 people to like just the sound guy. So I've done it all. I've played in living rooms. I've played weddings. I've
Yeah.
played Red Rocks. So it's
You
like
played Red Rocks?
Yeah.
That's fucking legit.
yeah, it's scary, but it's like
I
you
fucking
know
bet.
you train for that shit.
Yeah.
Like you better be fucking ready.
Yeah.
Like you only like that might be the only time I ever play Red Rocks. So
Yeah.
gotta be on it. So as far as right now vocally, it's like you gotta convince people you're good because they're not there for you. So like when I play, it's for a completely crowd that has never seen me before and they don't know the fuck I am. So if there's 10 people there, that's potentially 10 new fans I can have.
Right.
And if I suck forever, they'll be like that guy.
That could be 10 people that trash you.
Yeah, even if I blow up, they'll be like, dude, I saw him and he was trash.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. So it's like I gotta be doing 100% to my abilities, even if that's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like if I'm only a 6 right now, I gotta be a 6. Like on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least be that.
A prime
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Especially in Nashville, because dudes will go on after you and sing Chris Stapleton covers and rail your asshole.
Well, and
into the
everybody
ground.
knows everything about music here, even if you're just a
Yeah.
spectator. So
Even if you're trash.
I love
You see the guys in the
anything
crowd just like this,
That's how everybody is.
watching you like, fuck.
I know, dude. I've DJ'd and had people do that shit. Like
They're watching the song crossovers and they're like that.
they're behind me.
Yeah.
I just had it last night.
Mid-tempo
Yesterday I
match,
DJ'd at Tin Roof, and they were like I had this guy, and he was like, and I was like, "What's up, man?" And he was like, "This motherfucker, he was fucked up, and he did not know what he was talking about." So, but you never know that, right? It was the funniest thing of all time. I mean, there's a software that I use to DJ, and everyone knows if you DJ at all, the software you use to DJ is not software that you get. It's not where you get music from. It's not where you buy music from. You do that on the internet on different websites. He's like, and I was like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Oh, what do you use?" And I was like, "Record Box," and he's like, "I tried to use it, but I can't find any songs on there." And I was like, and then his phone rang, and he went to answer, and I go, "On Record Box?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he just walked away from me, and I was like, people will totally act like they know what they're talking about.
I
You don't know.
love-
It's like
I
I bought
love
this iPod,
uneducated.
but it's like I bought this iPod. There's no goddamn music on here. Like I'm gonna sell this.
Uneducated comments are the best.
They
'Cause
are.
They're always just like, man, you was up there beating them things. Like,
They-
you know how to carry a tune, don't you?
I love-
That was nice.
I love
They
playing
throw-
in like country
they throw
ass
a loop.
places. Like when we played down at Tammy's in Fayetteville, Tennessee. I'm trash at guitar. Everybody knows that that's ever seen me play guitar. I can play just
You ain't
enough.
trash at Tammy's.
I can play. Dude, this guy literally came up to me after the show. He said, "Man, you can really play the fucking guitar." I was like, "I really
He's like,
can't."
you was plucking them things.
I was like, "I really can't, dude." I
You
was just
strumming
straight up
chords, too.
strumming like Darius Rucker, dude. Like, and he just.
But that's the thing, man. I grew up on butt rock. Those guys, they were just finding guys with cool hair and putting a fucking guitar on.
yeah, trying to teach
They
him how to
could
play.
barely play anything.
Why the fuck they call it butt rock? Because this is the first day I've ever heard that.
Okay, so on the radio, they would say we're playing everything but rock.
Oh, okay.
And that left out
Gotcha.
butt rock was like the early 2000s. It's post grunge.
Yeah.
Like Creed, any of the that shit, butt rock,
You fuck with Creed?
of course. You got to, dude.
Got to.
Love Creed.
My sacrifice, dude. Talk to me.
Dude, yeah, all those weird ass voices like Creed and like.
If you're drunk, you're singing Creed.
Creed, Pro
I'd
Jam,
sing when I'm
Volbeat,
not
stuff
drunk.
like that. Just the crazy vocals.
I'll sing that shit after a bad day at work on the way home, you know what I'm saying?
You're crying. You're like on the steamboat. We'll fly.
That's good, dude. Just tears
God
dripping
damn
on the
it.
drop.
You get out the car and you close the door. You're like, shit, man.
And somebody's just like,
I
"Oh, is
make
that
sure
Creed?"
nobody's
You're like,
around.
No.
Nah, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I make sure nobody's around before I get out of the car.
Like, that was puddle of
Yeah.
mud. Like, respect.
You heard them guitars, you
It's
idiot.
a Creed sample, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking. Get out of here.
Oh, shit. Anything else y'all want to discuss before we get the fuck out of here? I think this is
You
long
want to
enough.
plug your socials? and stuff?
Oh, yeah, plug your socials.
Cowboy Mugshot.
Just
Everything.
at Cowboy Mugshot.
Yeah.
Cool.
You go check out his TikTok. It's full of a bunch of songs.
Or
And
don't.
also,
Fuck TikTok.
and then
Fuck.
also a bunch of dumb fucking videos of him and his friends that are really
You got to.
entertaining.
You got to.
I haven't watched your TikTok yet. I'm
You gotta play the game.
Get some funny ones.
I got
It's a numbers
80-something
game.
thousand followers that don't give a fuck about me, so. join the club. Hop in. Trash me in the comment section. It helps the algorithm.
Yeah, hell yeah, it does.
All right, dude. Well, thank you for coming on, dude. It was fun as shit.
Thanks for having me.
Our first artist interview.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Talked about piss.
fucking
We talked
cool.
about poop. We fucking talked about
It was a really
we-
fun. Like everybody else got a higher standard.
We even
to live
slid
up
some
to now.
music in there too, on top of all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah. Thanks for coming, dude.
Respect.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys for listening.
And
Another episode of You Didn't Hear From Me.
because you didn't hear it from me.
You Didn't Hear From Moose.
Goddamn.
You didn't mean to call me that. You gave yourself a heart attack. I started running. You didn't mean to call me that. You gave yourself a heart attack. You left me all alone at your best friend's party that I didn't want to go to. You didn't even call me back. All you motherfuckers are exactly the same on the front page of Asshole Magazine when you're getting mad at me. It was the first time I trusted my own mind and decided to stay with you. You caught me in twilight inside of my mind, and you broke my heart into a million pieces, a million pieces, a million pieces, a million pieces. You called me up, you said you blew it all, but you threw it all away. You never wanna stay, you just wanna play. You called me up, you said you blew it all, but you threw it all away. You never wanna stay, you just wanna play. Don't you ever tell me that you're never coming back again. Don't you ever tell me that you're never coming back again. Call me back. A million pieces. You didn't even call me back. All you motherfuckers are exactly the same on the front page of Asshole Magazine when you get mad at me. You called me up, you said you blew it all, but you threw it all